My name is Stella Bassi. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are joining us in the world. And thank you so much for being here this evening. I am a lifestyle director too, and I reside here in the United Kingdom. I'm going to be your host for this evening. For me, it is morning, but for you guys also, I think some people are evening, they haven't started, but me, it is 1 a.m. exactly here in the United Kingdom. And our senior vice president is here, and I'm going to introduce her while we wait for Mr. David O to actually come in. Sanaz is our senior vice president and chief designer of Opulence Global. Sanaz spent her early 20s learning about multi-level marketing and entered her first MLM business in 2002, quickly developing her business as a distributor. She eventually left the sales field and took a position at Opulence Global. With hard work, dedication, and perseverance, she eventually rose to her current position. She worked hard and she got to the position that she's in right now. Sanaz is fully invested in all aspects of the product development process and beyond, from research and development to manufacturing, distribution, marketing, and promotion. She takes pride in every production and product and all the ingredients used, and is proudly a product of the product, knowing that she is impacting the lives of people worldwide. I think I've lost Sanaz. Did I lose you, Sanaz?
I apologize, Stella. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now loud and clear.
Yes, it was actually connecting to Wi-Fi and I lost you for a minute. Good evening, everyone, and good morning and good afternoon. I want to say hello. I have actually missed the past couple of weeks and it's great to be back. And I actually, for one of those times in my life, got hit with COVID and was just recovering. But it's fantastic to be, of course, back with each and every single one of you. I was traveling last week, so I wasn't able to get on. So a good evening to everyone. I want to welcome each and every single one of you. Let's just take a look to see if David is on as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, David O, as we know him, is right here. And I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to go ahead and introduce David. David O, as we know him, handles the regulatory affairs at Opulence Global. From his science and pharmaceutical background, David recognized the incredible value of Fairy Flawless as a world-class product that delivers on its promise of anti-aging. His enthusiasm continued with the Fountain of Life, which is the most powerful antioxidant from nature, and the future development in the Safe Home Revolution collection. David is honored to be part of this incredible journey as Opulence Global changes the lives of people. David, welcome to the call, and Sanaz, the stage is all yours. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you so much, Stella. First of all, congratulations on being the host of the month. A good night, a good morning, and a good evening to everybody. 1 a.m. and Stella is looking as fabulous as ever and being, of course, our host of the month. And it's always a pleasure to have you, always looking so spectacular. I guess you bring that UK fashion into the house for us.
You can't be in Opulence and look any different. I have to look the part. Have to be part of the product to show the uniqueness of Opulence Global.
Absolutely. Before we start the call, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to share, as our CEO and myself were driving back from our Ottawa home to Toronto today, we were just reflecting in the car, and I want to share that reflection with each and every single one of you before we start our call off. I know every single Monday we try to inspire you and teach you and bring you more awareness of what's happening in Opulence and what we're doing and the excitement and everything that we do every single week, every single day. But, as you all know, we just recently are celebrating our 17th year. And that's really a big milestone. I want everyone to really take that moment to just really reflect. If you're partnered with a company, you've invested your money, your faith into the products and everything that we carry into a company that's for the future. 17 years ago, when I joined, just like you as the distributor into this company, really, I had some big dreams and goals. And my vision was, to become a self-made millionaire. My dream was to build a massive organization, a global income that I could tap into from any part of the world that I was in, to be able to have, freedom. And freedom is not just money. Freedom is to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, how you want. And that, my dear friends and family, is called freedom. And Opulence delivers that in every shape and form. You could live in any part of the world and be able to build this business, and you can be successful. It's the same blueprint for every single one of you. It's the same products for each and every single one of you, but it's what you do with it. So in our drive today, as we're driving through, that was actually one of the conversations that we were having together, talking and reflecting as, where we've been, where we're going, what's going to be happening with, of course, Exit Coin, what's going to be happening with
Hello, Sanaz. I think we just lost you.
I think we just lost her. But I can still see her on the screen, but
Okay, yeah, I can't hear her, so.
yeah, I think I froze for a minute. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you
Yes,
loud and clear.
we hear you fine now, Sanaz.
Perfect. So I don't know where I got disconnected, but what I was just sharing is, about a year ago, I got introduced to the cryptocurrency and everything that we were going to be able to do in this company. And with everything that we're going to be doing in this company for the future of each and every single one of you, the future is bright. The future is friendly at Opulence, because outside of the world, unfortunately, everything is at the highest. Inflation is at the highest. Of course, we know disease state is at the highest level that it can be. So outside of Opulence, maybe things are not so peachy. Right here at home at Opulence, we have everything ready for all of you to go build your empires. And really, we're paving the path for the next 5 to 10 years for each and every single one of you to reach that success. Of course, success in our company comes from the backbone of the company. What is the backbone? The products. So the fact that you're each and every single one of you are here, it's going to educate you. It's going to give you more knowledge, more experience, and more, in-depth training of what you need for the future. So I want to talk a little bit about tonight, one of our new products, and that's what I want to start off with. And I want to talk a little bit more about collagen, and I want to talk about, of course, our FOL clinical. But before we get there, I want to talk about another very powerful product that has really taken the world by storm. We know that Fountain of Life is everyone's favorite product. And of course, a lot of you are using it and you have powerful testimonials. But David, tonight I want to kick off the call with our powerful microsilver toothpaste technology that has really, really revolutionized, the toothpaste, or what I'm going to call the oral care industry, because it has really done marvelous things for so many of our customers. I don't think we brag about this product so much. But let's start the call off with microsilver and what makes this product so revolutionary. We know about the fluoride free. What does that mean? Why is fluoride not recommended? And why are we so proud that this is an alcohol free, fluoride free, created with microsilver? Let's start off the call with that.
Okay, listen, as you're sounding really good, so I'm pleased to hear that.
Yes.
I'm glad that's a tough road to go on. So your continued good health, please. Anyways, when we talk about fluoride, it seems to be such a controversial subject these days. For those who are new to this, we've talked about this enough times. So the reason fluoride came up is that we started doing some research. It's just started from a look-see. We started looking at our toothpaste and we discovered there's a warning on there North America, the FDA states that there has to be a warning on our toothpaste. And it says basically, if you should ingest this toothpaste, call your poison control center. And it was a little shocking because, it's something that you use on a daily basis and, several times a day, and you don't even think about it. To be honest with you, I never thought about it. And when I read that, I was a little surprised by this. And although I was aware that there's some concerns about fluoride, I didn't realize to the extent that which we had to be careful. And so we started researching this further, and we discovered other things about fluoride and ingestion of fluoride. Fluoride is a natural element that's designed to harden our teeth to protect us from the bacteria that causes tooth decay. However, exposure to fluoride is not necessarily good. We started looking at things like dental fluorosis, which is just a staining of the teeth, to skeletal fluorosis, and we started looking at the statistics. 40% of American teenagers are showing signs of dental fluorosis. They're not sure how many have skeletal fluorosis, which means that they're concerned about the overall health of our children. We started looking at diabetes type 2 as a problematic and a result of fluoride exposure. But I think the real troubling thing came forward when we discovered studies that showed that pregnant women who expose their children to fluoride and children exposed to fluoride at a very young age showed impairment of their neurological development, and their IQ scores were much lower, significantly and markedly so. And so we realized that, there might be an issue here. I think a lot of companies recognize that there's some issues with fluoride. And so they offer that. They offer fluoride-free toothpaste, which is a nice alternative, except the problem is that it doesn't work. It doesn't do the job of protecting the teeth from tooth decay and periodontal disease. So although we wanted to eliminate that, we wanted to make a product that worked. And so we started doing some research, and we started looking into microsilver. Microsilver is used in a lot of medical implant technology. We understand what microsilver will do in terms of disrupting bacteria and viruses. And so when we started looking at this and finding out that they actually did a study at the Erlangen clinic in Europe, and that it really reduced periodontal disease, halitosis, and all those affiliated with, plaque development on the teeth, we thought that this was something that we should incorporate into our product while eliminating fluoride. So what it is doing is it's disrupting the bacteria, that bacteria that it will cause tooth decay. So instead of just hardening the teeth, what we're doing is eliminating the bacteria, and it's going to be long lasting. And the reason it's long lasting is that it creates a deposit of silver, and you can't see it. So you're not going to smile and all of a sudden your mouth will be sparkly. It's not like that. It's just very microscopic, part of 10 microns particle sizes that will embed themselves in our gums and release silver ions over time. And as people started using it, they discovered, number one, that their breath smelled fresher in the morning. It's because the microsilver eliminated the bacteria that causes bad breath. And then over time, as they've gone back to their dentists, the dental health professionals, they discovered that they had better than average results. The dentists were quite, pleased with what was happening. So now we have a product that works well. It eliminates periodontal disease factors, but at the same time, it's safe. It's safe for our children. It's safe for everybody, and it works effectively. So we have, I think, produced an alternative that the world didn't have before. And that's why, as people have seen, there's a lot of users of this product now, and they're getting wonderful results.
Amazing, David. Another topic I really want to talk about, which I think is really key, we used to talk about this quite a bit, and that is the brushing of our tongue with our microsilver technology.
Yep.
And of course, a lot of people are brushing their teeth. Not enough people are brushing their tongue. Could you shed a little bit of light on?
Yeah, I think you should. Well, our tongue is very porous, number one, and it's got a large surface
2 to 3
area.
minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry you broke up there. I apologize for butting in.
Not at all. I'm having some fun internet issues tonight.
Okay. Well, you should brush your teeth. You brush your tongue along with your teeth. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a large surface area. Um, again, you want to reduce the amount of bacteria on your tongue. And so that's one way of doing it is just quickly brush it over. Like, really, our toothpaste with the microsilver will do a lot of good because our oral cavity, and I just had a discussion with a dental health professional today about this because they're discovering more and more about our oral cavity and the importance of keeping that area clean. COVID has just heightened that. And so this is a gateway to so many other problems. And we're talking about cardiovascular disease, we're talking mental health issues. And they want to reduce the amount of bacteria that's entering our system through our oral cavity. And if we can reduce that using something like microsilver toothpaste, which is relatively benign and perfectly safe, I think you're going to see a lot more encouragement in that way because they want to make sure that pathogens don't enter our body. They're trying to reduce that, and the mouth seems to be the gateway to that, to a lot of these issues. So, I think Opulence is really offering something very unique and very effective, and I would encourage people to just try it. I think you'd be very pleased because your children will be very compliant in brushing their teeth, I've discovered. So, I've got an 11-year-old that brushes her teeth using it and just loves it. So it's great.
Yep. David, let's talk a little bit about actually kids. You talk about an 11-year-old, well, even younger than 11. We know that a lot of the manufacturers that are creating toothpaste, they create it in bubblegum flavor and all these like fun little flavors, which of course kids do not spit out. They end up, swallowing this toothpaste, which is quite toxic when they're ingesting all this fluoride. And that's how kids, end up creating all these tummy aches. They don't know what they're exactly feeling. So they feel like they have, nausea or they feel like they got tummy aches. Let's talk a little bit about the fact how the microsilver technology, the fact that our product is alcohol free, the fact that it's of course safe for children. Let's talk a little bit about that because I think there's just so much product down there in the market. I think a lot of consumers think that just because it's on the shelf, it's safe. And really, as consumers, as parents, and as adults, as people who are able to do a lot more research, it's important for us to be educated on why it's so vital and important for parents to understand the health factors and why it's important to use a product that does not have, the alcohol element, or kids shouldn't be swallowing their toothpaste.
Well, children should not be exposed to alcohol, period. There's no reason for it, and they shouldn't be ingesting alcohol at a very young age, and we should keep them away from it. That goes without saying, of course. However, when we take a look at the other products out there, we want to reduce their exposure to certain things. And of course, we don't want them swallowing, toothpaste. So it really bothers me, with children is that if you say to them, did you swallow that toothpaste? They're not going to say no. And the question is, what did you do with it? Did you spit it out? How did you do this? And you've got to keep careful watching it because some of them think it's a very benign activity to swallow the toothpaste. They don't care. But that a fluoride exposure it can, potentially add up to something that maybe is not safe for them. We want to keep them as safe as possible. And I'm very cognizant of that with the different chemicals out there, of course. I'm trying to lower their exposure. But at the same time, compliance is with children are all-time low at times. And they're not going to tell you, guess what, I'm swallowing toothpaste all the time. So the best way to do it is just make sure you provide them with a toothpaste that they can swallow that's perfectly safe. That's why I do encourage that sort of participation with children in terms of use of this product because, number one, they're very compliant. They do like it, from what I've tested. And, this is anecdotal, mind you, but from what I've seen, they really like it. Number one. Number two, they will continue to brush your teeth is something that you want them to do. So that activity becomes part of the routine. Using a toothpaste they actually like, and it does help that way.
Did you hear me
Oh,
okay, David?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I was like, hello, David. Okay,
No.
amazing. Well, I know we have a lot of new partners in all different types of markets. And one of the other things as well, it's important to make sure that the element of duplication constantly happens. When you have brand new partners, it's important not to only try one product, but to try all the different products. And of course, that is actually some of the reasons that we've been able to create all the different variety of products for our partners around the globe so that they can ultimately experience clean, safe products for themselves, for their family, for their children, of course. But most importantly, for longevity, we want you to stay healthy. We want you to be able to, have a healthy lifestyle in the products that we use. And, this also ties into the shampoo and conditioner, for example, the shampoo, body wash, and of course the conditioner. That also works in a very healthy way, David, because we made sure that there doesn't have any parabens, it doesn't have any sulfates, it doesn't have any fillers, it doesn't have any dyes, it doesn't have any synthetics. And when people are not aware and they use those products over and over, what can it do for somebody's body, for their immune system, when they're constantly exposed to all of the sort of the synthetics and the parabens and the dyes and so on and so forth?
Well, there's an irritative factor with some of these things that we're talking about that we have to be careful about. Some of them are high, like, I mean, I don't know if they're going to really impact our immune system per se, but what some of them are, I'll break it down a little further. But when we take a look at certain things, when we take a look at sulfates, what are they doing to our skin? They do clean, but they dry out. They pull out all the moisture. They can be very harsh, and it could be, for some people, I really wouldn't recommend it. But sulfates are something that is commonly used. They do produce cancer. They found that there was in the 1990s 1,4-dioxane that was related to that. They discovered that there was some cross contamination, and these sort of discoveries make us better. They make us safer, and it's a good thing they found, because the sulfate industry had to prove again that it was safe, and they've done so many, many times. But again, it's led to improvements in other alternatives. Other things like parabens. Parabens are really interesting because it's a preservative. It's a weak preservative, but it's a preservative nonetheless. But they discovered parabens in breast cancer tissue. So again, it has forced the industry to move away from that sort of preservative and look for other preservatives that are better, more effective, and safer. Okay. And this is something, quite honestly, is something I work on a daily basis. To go without a preservative-free product is not possible. So if anyone says, well, let's not use a preservative, let's forget that, because without a preservative, you're going to have contamination. And I tried one, like I tried to produce one, and I put it into a lab setting. And in one day, they had 120 million count bacteria, which is not safe. So we threw that out. But again, it's just part of the experimental process and understanding how this all works. But we want to produce products with a safe preservative, and parabens are out. Again, we want to be careful with dyes, because some dyes are connected to cancer. And unfortunately, the US FDA and Health Canada has differing views on the red dyes we're using. So we'll find out who's right, who's wrong in maybe 20 or 30 years. But again, the concern is that it can lead to cancers through, and some of them are highly irritative that causes these anomalies. So we want to be careful how we're using products. We have to take care to try and reduce the consumption of it. And I think that as we gone through this, the exercise has always been, do we really need that in our product? And why do we need it? What is the rationale? And once we started into that, we discovered that we're able to make a better product, less irritating, less problematic, and in the long run, safer. So, that's where I think the safe home revolution started. And I'm pleased to say that we're continuing on that process and that philosophy. So you're going to see more and more products that will adhere to that and prop that up, and you'll see some wonderful products in the near future.
Absolutely, David. And I think it's so important to talk about that. That was one of the reasons I sort of wanted to start off with toothpaste. Toothpaste is a product that we use multiple times a day, and we sometimes use these products without really putting much thought process because we're hoping that our governments and our society and our scientific teams and business owners are taking the consumers' health into consideration, but that's not always the case. Unfortunately, money makes the world go round and round. Sometimes people are looking for just creating a product, and not necessarily looking at what the long-term effects are for the consumers. And that's something at Opulence that we really pride ourselves in. We're users of the product. The reason we're creating these products is, like David said, because it meets the basics of our safe home revolution concept, where it's safe for you, your family, your loved ones, your family. And most importantly, it's got the longevity to be able to, give you clean products that are created to, most importantly, be effective. But on the second part is to have, raw materials and ingredients that are going to work. And which brings me to another product that we have been working on. Of course, you all know, we've been working on a collagen product, and of course we've also been working on the FOL clinical, as we've called it. For most of you know it, we introduced it on our New Year's webinar. And I have to tell you all, during the time that I actually got COVID, I started to, of course, load up on my fountain of life. And I was basically taking about 4 or 5 droppers, and it was really making a difference in the sense that I wasn't catching a flu, but it was more, for me, it was just a weakness of the body and a lack of energy. And so I got to tell you all, I actually spoke to Jack about FOL Clinical, and he was recommending for me to start taking about 4 capsules a day. And I started to do exactly that. And I got to tell you all, Fountain of Life was one part. It was the antibacterial element of it. But the FOL clinical worked in a secondary way from my sinuses, from my respiratory, of course, issues that I was experiencing, and it really made a world of difference. And I remember lying down and saying, "My goodness, we have the most incredible products that." Truly you invest into, but they do make a difference in our life, in our immune system, in our sinus care, in our organs, and they're all clean ingredients. One of the things, as you all know, we've been developing it, and of course, developing a product, it's all about where these ingredients come from. And ingredients come from all different parts of the world. Some of them are more effective. A lot of them are not regulated. Many of the good ingredients are very much regulated. And David, I wanted to talk a little bit about ingredients a little bit, because I've learned so much even as a consumer, that there is a lot of products out in the market. There's grapeseed, for example, that comes from different parts of the world, but then the one that comes from France is grown differently than the one that's grown in Africa, than the one that's grown in China, the one that's grown in North America. We're talking about collagen. There's different collagen that's grown, for example, in Switzerland versus Canadian collagen versus, Indian collagen, and so on and so forth. So I find that there's a lot of different ingredients, and where the source and the efficacy and the consistency comes from also makes a massive difference in the formulation, in the creation, and most importantly, in the effectiveness of the formulation working. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Well, the ingredients sort of vary from place to place. A good example is just our fountain of life. It's an excellent example. The Norwegian spruce grows all over the world. It's a plant that grows everywhere. It's ubiquitous. However, where they've harvested the tree is in northern Finland under the most harsh conditions. They did harvest some in southern Finland. They found it was a much different tree in terms of its lignin count and a number of antioxidants. And so the climate, the soil, everything makes a difference in the type of plant that's produced. And that goes anywhere in the world. And this is why we're seeing such differences in the type of plants that we produce. You know, wine is a great example too. Depending on the climate, soil, everything produces a different type of wine, and it's very different type of grape that produces the wine. And that goes without saying with any of these natural products that we're involved with. I think that as we start moving forward, you're going to see that we are harvesting plants from different areas of the world. Their extracts are coming from different areas of the world. And our lip product, our Dream Lips, we're using an extract from a Himalayan plant from the Himalayas, the Swarsha chirata extract, because it reduces the fine lines around the mouth, the vertical lines that are produced. That's not by accident. That is because we researched that and discovered that where this plant grows and the properties of it. And we're going to start seeing that more and more often with a lot of the products that we're producing. But a lot of our products, the products that we're producing and when we're saying things like FOL clinical, well, everyone, get ready, because this is not, we talk about the term boosting your immune system. It's really not. But what it's going to do is modulate your immune system, which is really important. So it'll pick us up when we need it. It'll calm down our immune system when it's needed. And it's constantly doing that monitoring. I shouldn't say monitoring, but that's the only term I could think of off the top of my head. But I think that you're going to start seeing a difference in your energy, difference in the way it really helps us. And it's from plant sterols, STEROLS. So if you're not sure what that is, look it up. Part of the plant, something that we're missing in our diet, something we could augment ourselves with. And this is clinically proven, Health Canada approved. There's tons of claims that you guys can place out there without, fear. And you got something really unique to talk about, because this is going to not just on paper make a difference, but people are going to talk about how it has impacted their lives. So FOL Clinical is coming, and this is an augmentation to Fountain of Life. Fountain of Life is still a fantastic product. We can never lose sight of how important that is. I had someone call me who's using Fountain of Life, and I did not know this, but they've had cervical dysplasia for many, many years. And they get checked on a regular basis. Dysplasia is precancerous cells of the cervix. And they're always worried, the doctors are always worried that it will go into full-blown cancer. So they're always checking her. I don't know how often, because she didn't tell me, but she said that it's been always a nightmare of hers, and she's been living with us for years. She started taking Fountain of Life, I think it's probably maybe 4 months ago, from what I could tell. She couldn't tell me everything, but I don't even know, and the thing is, though, she said that she went and had her checkup today and found out that she had zero dysplasia in her cervix, and the doctors would not believe the results. And all she's done is added Fountain of Life to her life. And she just said it just made such a big deal. She was just ecstatic that she's clean. She had a clean bill of health. And this is the type of products that we do have. If you want to know the mechanism by which that happened, I can't explain it all, to be honest with you. I explained part of it, but I was really pleased to see that it was Fountain of Life that made a difference in her life, the quality of life, and she finally was able to breathe a sigh of relief. You're going to hear more and more of that, but I mean, the augmentation of Fountain of Life Clinical is going to be fantastic, because it's going to lower blood cholesterol. It does all these things that are just wonderful, and you're going to see a big difference in your lives. And I look forward to hearing from them, from people using it.
David, an explanation for the newbies, for the Sanazes of the world that, are not scientists like you guys. We know that we've learned that Fountain of Life is got a great source of plant antioxidants. Basically, what we're missing from plants is what we're able to, get into our body through using a product of Fountain of Life. Can we find out a little bit more? What's a plant sterol? I know you said for us to Google it, but how does it work? What does it do? Why do we need it? And how does it help our body?
Well, they're very much like, there's substances in plants that are very much like cholesterol. And I don't want to scare anyone about this because it sounds terrible when I say cholesterol. It seems like an evil word, but cholesterol is something that's just part of our lives. The thing is, though, when we take in plant sterols, believe it or not, it has this wonderful impact on our body. It reduces the LDL levels in our body, low density lipoprotein levels that cause cardiovascular disease, heart disease, all these things leading to strokes and all that. It lowers it. And so this is a real important part. And I took a look at Health Canada, which will be approved with this product. And you know what? We are allowed to say that it impacts cholesterol. So we have basically a natural product that once we ingest it, is going to lower cholesterol, LDL levels, which in turn helps our HDL levels. And this is, and it just helps limit the amount of bad cholesterol that can get in here. So yeah, as we grow older, this is a product that we not only need, we really want.
Absolutely. David, you said something that's so key, in network marketing in this industry, we're always very cautious about making claims or making statements or, saying that something is going to work the way it is. That's why, when it comes to the Fountain of Life, we are constantly reiterating the fact that, Fountain of Life is not a cure. It's not a drug. It's not a medicine in any way. Different people in different countries and different markets use it differently and talk about it differently. And it is what it is at this point. I think everyone has got such phenomenal testimonials that they're able to talk about it. But you just said something really key. And I want to make sure that everyone understands that when it comes to clinical, and when we do come out with this product has a level 3 NPN number, which basically means, this is a product that's been tested. This is a product that is already got a lot of data and backup to it. And the fact that you can actually legally make a claim saying that there's scientific backup, that you can approach, pharmacists or friends and family, or if there's a doctor that wants to read the data, it's going to be readily available for you and the partners to have access to actually say that it does reduce down cholesterol. Correct, David?
Yes. And I think that's a wonderful thing because, I worked in the medical industry for my whole life. And I'll tell you, these doctors are very evidence-based, and I don't blame them. The first thing they'll ask you is, a doctor, nurse, or any healthcare clinician will say, well, do you have any data to prove that? Do you have a study? Do you have multiple studies? And one study is not good enough. Do you have anything else that you can tell us about this product? And they're very interested. And they're not interested in just stories and anecdotes. They want to know the truth about a product. And so with Fountain of Life Clinical, you have all the things that you are asking for. So yeah, this level 3 is something that's hardly ever done in natural health products. So you have something very unique.
How is this different when it comes to the research that this data exists versus other products? Like, we, of course, don't provide any of this data when it comes to the Fountain of Life versus this product. So what would we tell a brand new partners why we have this data versus FOL, for example?
Well, Fountain of Life is an extract that's used, and there are many studies on lignans themselves in general on lignans. But this is a little different because they've gone a couple steps further in terms of, we release this as a natural health product. This is like a vitamin, just like everything else out there. And that's what Fountain of Life really is. It's a very, very powerful antioxidant. And there's no doubt how powerful it is. But with the plant sterols in Fountain of Life Clinical is much different because they took it further. We can continue to take this further. You can do that. You can research, and there is research being done on Fountain of Life, but it takes time and energy and a lot of money to be able to get it through. And when I say lots of money, you have to apply to different governments to get this approved. And so it's and governments move very slow. So over time, yes, you'll start seeing things on Fountain of Life, like even on the 7-HMR lignin. When we started 5 years ago on this project, there was hardly anything on a 7-HMR lignin. Now there's multiple studies out there telling the value of that. So things are changing, things are progressing, but it does take medicine is a very slow moving ship. I'm sorry, there's no doubt about it. So the clinical, FOL clinical has moved much further ahead. They kept the studies going. They kept this moving forward. And I'm really pleased that they did that, because they really committed to taking it further and faster. And they brought forward studies that is something that is just truly something you don't see too often. Most natural health products are very satisfied with the general overview of the product and what it does do. They're very effective that way, but they're not really sometimes specific about the product. And so this one is very specific about what this is. And quite honestly, when I saw it, I realized this is as close to being a pharmaceutical as we're ever going to see as a natural health product.
I love it.
Unique. It is really unique. So anyone that says, you want to know what the pharmaceutical industry is, well, you're going to see it in Fountain Life Clinical, because if you listen very carefully and you understand what this product is, you start understanding what the pharmaceutical industry is all about. Really
David, I don't know if our partners understand how powerful this is. Do you guys get it? I mean, this is going to be such a powerful, high impact product. David said something so key. It just regulates. If it needs to, your body needs to be boosted up, it boosts it up. If it needs to balance down, it will. I know people that, for example, have a lot of the autoimmune disorders. They don't necessarily, they cannot take Fountain of Life, because what Fountain of Life does, it actually boosts the immune system up too much. So with clinical, it's going to be very different, because it will balance out your immune system for what it needs, versus where Fountain of Life just boosts the immune system as well. And so I'm really, really excited about it, David. I'm pumped up. I know the development has been going on. I think once our partners get more training and get all the brochures out, and they see what a high impact, high performance product this is going to be, I know that everyone is going to absolutely have their minds blown. And also when the data comes with it, it's going to be so much more powerful. Yeah, the chats are, of course, getting excited, because everyone is starting to kind of have their aha moments, I think, David.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, I would take the time to learn this product and understand it, because you're going to get into deep conversations. And I'll tell you, in the pharmaceutical industry, they train you, frontwards to backwards, and this completely, before they let anyone else talk about it to anybody, regardless of whether who the target audience is. And I would take the time to do that myself and just take a look at what this product will do. And if you understand this product and what it will do, you will be successful. There's no doubt in my mind that this is going to be one of these products that you'll say, wow, am I ever glad I was here at this time, because this is a product that will make your business successful. And I'm saying that not from Sanaz will tell you, I'm probably the worst MLM person in the whole world that way, but I do understand the science and the products behind this. And this is a product, along with that Fountain of Life, that I think is something that you can create a basis of a great relationship with so many people, because you're going to impact their lives. And so if you understand this product backwards and forwards, you will do well with it. There's no doubt in my mind, because this is an impactful product, and no one has one like it. And that's the thing. It's very unique. You're not going to go out the store and just find another one like it. This is here. And yeah, and you're going to hear some great stories from it.
Indeed.
And I look forward to that.
Indeed.
So
David,
I'm excited about this one. I don't get too, Sanaz knows I don't get too excited, but this one I get excited about.
Oh, you know what? Absolutely. And to see David excited, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's a big deal, because, God can come from the sky, and
Oh
David
my
will
God.
always stay neutral.
Yeah, I got yelled at the other day because they said, "Aren't you excited?" I said, "It's a very nice product." And they didn't want to hear that. They said, "It's an amazing product, you idiot." And I said, "Well, that's what I said." No, I hurt their feelings. They said so.
Well, I find that with the scientific team, and when it comes to research, and when we talk about something, with us, we get excited because we're able to distribute a product, get paid to promote the product. It's a moneymaker for us. And then, we talk to the scientific team, and they're all so monotone, and they're so like neutral about it. And I'm like, get excited, because we're
Yeah.
excited about it as well. But there's a
What?
lot of great stuff coming. And, David, one of the things that, I love, building and developing great products in our company. As you know, I have a very, very high standard. We don't take shortcuts anywhere. We don't shortchange anything. We don't, try to save money anywhere. For us, do we have the cheapest products? Nope, not necessarily. Do we have the best quality products? Absolutely. I can guarantee you, when it comes to the requirements, the ingredients, the formulation, the creation, there is absolutely no shortcuts we take. And it's simply because you are like family to us. We know you by face, we know you by name, we know who you are. And the principle of opulence is to create opulent product, to create the best of the best. Remember our motto, remember our CEO's motto. If it exists, make it better. If it doesn't exist, create it. So, I got to tell you all, in a meeting I had last Friday, I was dealing with our formulator, the master formulator that's creating, the collagen product. And I'm going to give you guys some really amazing updates when it's the right time. And some of you are going to be handpicked to actually try some of these products and be what I call my guinea pigs. But I mean, everyone's always volunteering to be those guinea pigs. And the principle of the development of the collagen, I'm going to really surprise you guys with it, because what I shared with you guys on New Year's, it's going to be a little bit different than what I shared with all of you. And it's just because there's going to be different products in different formats in different markets. And I'm so ecstatic to share that with you once I firm it up. I never like to talk about anything unless I'm positive 100%, because I don't want to build up anyone's hope and expectation. But when I know confidently that we are ready to rumble, then I'll bring it to all of you. And I have some exciting things coming your way. So keep tuned. You'll never know which call I'm going to share it on, but I will share it on my Monday call. I got to share with all of you. The gentleman who's the team, I should say, that is developing the collagen, the company that I'm working with to develop this product, he is so excited. He said, I've worked on all these different products, and he's a master, chemist that is basically creating the collagen. And he was saying, there's a lot of product out in the market, some good, some I would never, consume it myself. He said, what I love about your company is that you are following the motto that I believe in, which is how do we make it better? Because every time he says something, I said, can it be made better? And he says, well, yeah, you can do this. And okay, how do we make that better? And well, we can do this. Okay, how do we make that better? Because I'm not a scientist. For me, it's all about, what's going to be the potency? How is it going to work? The effectiveness. Is it going to make my hair grow? Is it going to make my skin shine? Is it going to make me look more youthful? Is it going to help me with my joint pain? Is it going to help me with my, knee pain and my hand pain? And, if I have a weaker immune system, will it help me from that perspective? And, if I have acne prone skin and, I've lost the elasticity in my skin, will it help me to, look younger and feel more rejuvenated and turn back the hands of time? And really, those are the kind of things as a consumer, as a woman, as someone who is leading all the product development, will it work? Because I want to look younger each and every single day. I want to age gracefully. And, I don't want to do the Botox and the fillers. I don't like the fake faces, but I like to still maintain my youth. So how do you do that? By using incredible product
that are safe for you, that are safe for the environment, that longevity, don't have side effects. And that's what we're creating at Opulence, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you are as excited as we are, because let me tell you, we are creating the supernatal commander of collagen for you. We are creating, the supernatal commander, thanks to Jack for creating, of course, clinical, and get ready for that. So there's a lot of stuff that is in the works. And this year is going to be a very important year for each and every single one of you. This year is going to be an important year for all of you to really line yourself up for the infrastructure. Make sure you are at an LA position. Make sure you are on your, smart buy. Make sure that, when exit coin, the metaverse comes into effect, whether you understand it or not, understand it, learn it, teach yourself, grow, evolve, become a better version of yourself. Look, a lot of the things that I do every single day, I don't come from a scientific background, but I'm constantly educating myself of what is the best, best, best. And I'm no different than each and every single one of you. It's just I pay attention. I read a lot of research. I, ask a lot of questions. If I don't understand something, I don't pretend to understand it. I ask so that I can learn it, so that I could duplicate it to all of you. And you're no different than me. You could learn everything that I am learning each and every single way, every single day. The only difference between me and you, it could be that I have to, because I don't have the choice, because you all depend on me. But if you were to take that same perspective and say, my customers, my team, my organization depends on me to be, it's up to me, guess what? You're going to learn it just as fast as I have. David says I'm a perfect parrot because I'm constantly evolving and growing and learning. I got to tell you guys, one of the big reasons why, I respect Renee the way that I do is because Renee is constantly learning every single day. Renee is like a sponge. If he doesn't know, he understands it. If anything, I would actually say Renee understands a compensation plan and presents it better than I do. And it's because he wants to be that comp plan expert. So where do you want to be the expert in this company? Where do you want to shine in this business? And then you have to ask yourself, okay, if you want to shine in the products, then master the art of our products, master what our products are, what they do, how they affect you, how they can help you, they can help your customer, how they can help your family, the people around you. And once you're able to master that, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to be unstoppable of what you're able to do in this industry. You're going to be unstoppable with the income that you're able to create because of what you know. I got to tell you, I took an interesting phone call last week, Friday. There was a lady who's on a 150 smart buy, and I want you guys to pay attention to this very closely. She's on a 150 smart buy, and she calls and she say, I really would like to upgrade my 150 to 500 a month. How do I do that? And the question was, well, okay, why do you want to upgrade it from 150 to 500? And she says, well, because I got products that are being sold every single month, and I want to be able to make sure that I always have sufficient amount of supply for my product. So what makes that lady any different than each and every single one of you? It's not, any other reason other than the fact that she is following up with her customers. It's because she's hustling. It's because she's sharing. And by the way, this is not a new partner to say, oh, well, she's brand new. Maybe she's got a new database right now. No, she's been around for over 2 years. She's consistently selling the product. She's constantly retailing. So it's up to me. Okay, let's just do that checkup from the neck up for each and every single one of you. Go out there, talk about your products. When these new products hit the shelf, all you got to do is follow up with your existing customers, call them back and say, hey, listen, there's a new product in the market our business has done. I know you're using the toothpaste. I know you're using Fountain of Life. I'd love to introduce you to another phenomenal product. We're having an introductory price like we always do. I would love to, reserve 2 bottles for you. Would you be interested for me to put your name down? Did you want to use a Visa or MasterCard? Ask for the sale. I'll have more of a in-depth training when we're ready to do pre-orders and pre-launch. But let me tell you, you got to be out there now. You got to start spreading the word now. You got to start building the excitement now. Just like we're giving you little things that we know or what we're doing, that excitement, that buzz, the excitement, You need to start doing that. Don't think that by waiting to eventually share is going to build your business. No, you want to do that now. Maybe someone needs that product now. Maybe that they need the product today. But if you start to talk about it, and if you start to create the curiosity, when you do follow them back, and when you do follow up with them, as long as you're using your forensic box, then they will be ready to go and your orders will be pouring in. So as you guys can see, I am super duper excited. You know, sometimes I wish I was still in the field, and I wish that I would have, you know, all my customers. I wish I had the time to have my customer base to follow up with, and to, of course, you know, sell, because at the end of the day, if you're making $2,000 to $5,000 cash in your pocket by retailing product, will that help your lifestyle? And in closing, I want to share with you guys that, you know, inflation is affecting each and every single one of you, whether you realize it or not. I recently just had to redo my mortgage, because of course they say that interest rates are going to go through the roof, and to lock it in. And my mortgage changed by almost $1,100 a month. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money. And $1,100 makes a massive difference. And so, can you guys imagine, you know, put yourself in my shoes for a minute. You know, if your mortgage was to change by $1,100 a month, how could you sustain your lifestyle? And that's what this industry is built to do. You see, with a regular job, or job as we call it, you are only privy to what you are making. No matter how much harder you work, you will always consistently make the same income. The beauty of this industry, ladies and gentlemen, the more effort that you put, the more love and passion that you put, the more education that you put, the more work that you put, the more follow-up that you put, the more commitment that you put, the more money you will earn. You reap what you put into this industry. So the question is, are you doing enough for yourself and your family? Are you earning as much money as you have potential, or can you do more? And if the answer is you can do more, then let's get you cracking. Let's get you building. Let's get you growing. Let's get you to be able to have the lifestyle that you deserve. So with that, David, you know, I know the call went by really quick. I'm super excited. As you can see, I'm totally recharged and re-energized with everything else that's been happening in the company. And I cannot wait for the new developments that are coming out in our company. I'm super excited and revved up for, of course, collagen and of course, clinical. And, you know, they're going to be game changers in this industry and in our company.
Everybody's gonna have a lot of fun too. That's the thing that we sometimes forget. But this is a fun product. You guys are gonna have so much fun promoting this one, and there's gonna be so many people that'll call you to thank you. So, you know, get ready for that. It's always a bonus when you are able to change someone's life, and I'm looking forward to hearing about this. But it's a great product.
Indeed, indeed. I think one of the biggest rewarding things is that when people reach out to you and say, actually, you know what? It happened to me this weekend. I had a client of mine, and she had, I don't know what it's even called. When someone gets a pimple on their body, that is, it becomes like very sore, and and it becomes like painful. So one of my customers actually called me on the weekend. She texted me and she says, you know, I know every time I call you about anything, you say put FOL on it. I want to ask you a question. I have a really bad, like, blistering pimple on my leg, and I can't even wear jeans because every time I pull it on, I feel like it's pushing down on it and it's hurting. And, you know, I'm in so much pain. I said, well, FOL basically will, you know, be almost work like an antibacterial. So yeah, apply it topically. She said that she put it on. Next morning, I got a text message from her. She started her text message with LOL, happy face, smiley, heart, flowers. I'm super excited to report that your product really helped me go to bed last night. It took away the throbbing pain, and it's also reduced down the stiffness and the inflammation in my body.
And so anyway, I guess she did that for the weekend. She texted me tonight just before the call, and she's like, honestly, your product works miraculously. I have absolutely no pain, and it's really reduced down the inflammation. So those are the kind of products you just have to talk about it. You just have to be proud about it, and you got to share.
Absolutely.
All right, Stella, I'll pass it over to you, my dear, to close the call. Thank you, David, for always being on, for your knowledge
Thank
and
you,
information.
Sanaz. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Stella, for the
Thank
live
you,
call.
Sanaz and David. David, when you were talking about the lady with the cervical issue, Laura asked a question. How about pancreatic?
Pancreatic? Pancreatitis, or are you talking about pancreatic cancer?
I believe.
It's a pretty tough question to address because, you know, there is no real cure for pancreatic cancer. It is one of those cancers that take people relatively very quickly. I don't know how I can answer that because I don't want to give false hope to anybody. You know, we're not selling a cure. We're not selling you know, this is certainly not something that's going to take the place of any treatment for anyone. But quite frankly, if I had pancreatic cancer, and understanding that, you know, for the majority of these people, the time is very, very limited. Yeah, I'd be taking a lot of drops of Fountain of Light, to be honest with you. When we say how many drops, I'd be taking 60 drops a day, you know, and I don't know what the outcome will be. And I don't want someone to say that I said this is a treatment for pancreatic cancer, because it is not. I want to be very clear about that. But it is a powerful antioxidant. It has helped people with cancer challenges. Example is someone with spleen cancer who's still living to this day. They're given 2 weeks to live. I don't know how they've gone. I don't know the person. I just know through the doctors that I've worked with. So yes, it seems to be impactful. So we can only hope that it will make an impact that way. But please, you know, if we understand ourselves in this call, that we're not promising anything, but we could at least try. Okay.
Thank you so much, David, for that. And I believe we all have heard you, and we take notes. So ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having you on the call. Before I close the call, I would love to share some announcements with you right now. If you just bear with me, I will share the slide with you. So first and foremost, we know that tomorrow we have our CEO presenting us with the forensic networker call. And that is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That will be about 2 a.m. my time here. So I will be there on that call. So the next one, let me see if I can go back from the beginning, because the slides, it's all probably just messed up. Okay. So the extended March Madness, you know, is still there. So please talk to your prospects, and you know how good this is and the gift that they're going to get. So keep telling people about the product, and before the end of April, so that you can boost your business. Like we have heard this evening, I am so excited with what is coming. So with this, and you have partners that are going to be excited to use these new products, and your business is going to start going from strength to strength. And remember, on the call that we have the Visa, the prepaid Visa card. So you can see there, the price is only $15. So get yours, and you can be traveling the world with a chip and pin card that you can use to promote your business. As when you whip it out, people will look at you with one eye and think, who's that executive lady and young man that is using that black Visa card? It actually promotes and gives you that image that you did. So the next one is, you remember when we had the anniversary call, Sanaz did mention that when you make a purchase of $150, you get a beautiful gift. So don't forget to do that. And the more you purchase, the more gifts that you get. So keep going and buy your products. I'm going to do mine as well. I love that product, and I would love to have it as my 17th anniversary gift. So like I said originally, we have the forensic call tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I hope that we are satisfied with everything that we have heard this evening. And I'm now saying thank you so much, David, for all the explanation about the product. And Sanas, thank you so much. It's good to have you back. And I believe you're going to be feeling better and better, and we'll have you every week so that we are waiting for that announcement and we do not want to miss. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here this evening. Sanaz, I don't know if you have any further thing to say, and David?
No, just wanted to say it was great to be on the call with all of you again and be in the flow and the mojo of the business. Make sure that you stay tuned, always plug yourself into the business. Of course, knowledge is power. It's great to be back, and I look forward to doing many calls and giving you guys more treats with all the cool stuff that's coming for Opulence.
Think you so much, Sanas, for that. And David?
Oh, no, thank you for allowing me to join you. I hope we share something that'll be of value, but I think more than anything, I think everyone should be excited about what's coming down. I know the people at head office are working really hard, and they're creating something very special for everyone. So I'm pleased to be here to be part of that journey. And I thank you for that opportunity. So I'll look forward to seeing you guys again next week.
Thank you so much, David, for that. And from me, your host this evening, I believe you probably will have someone else hosting this call tomorrow night. I'll be there as well. So Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And it's been a pleasure having you and serving you as a host for the last week. So thank you so much. Stella Bassi from the United Kingdom at 2 a.m. Good morning. And God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Good night, Stella. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.